It was a day of devastation that brought a community together. 1 year later, live from the heart of West Alabama, a WVUA special report, Rebuilding Tuscaloosa.
We're looking at how the Forest Lake neighborhood is making a comeback after April 27th storms and how pieces of the storm are becoming part of history and turning into a work of art. We're glad you're with us this evening. I'm Terry Brewer.
And I'm Lynn Brooks. We're coming to you live this evening from the Forest Lake neighborhood. In fact, right in front of the lake itself, all part of our very special week of coverage.
That's right. We are drawing closer to the milestone, the 1 year mark since April 27th. All week, we'll be coming to you live from locations along the path of the tornado. Today we're focusing on the areas in and around Forest Lake, which sits right off 15th Street, a major thoroughfare through Tuscaloosa. Now we're going to take you back. We're going to show you some video of what Forest Lake looked like just moments after the tornado roared through the city, battering homes. The lake was filled with debris, people walking around with whatever little they had left. Some homes were destroyed altogether. Nearby businesses were hit too. Mike and Ed's Barbecue, Gilda's Salon, Emergicare, and McAllister's are some of the spots on 15th Street that suffered damage. Now, almost a year later, cleanup crews are about to begin removing debris from the lake, and some residents who lost their homes have started the process of rebuilding, but there are still some places where there are no signs of rebuilding. And take a look at some video we have for you of a safe room. It was completed just before the April 27th tornado, and it was the only thing left after the storm hit the family's home, and it is still standing today, 1 year later. Now, on the other side of the Forest Lake neighborhood is the Hargrove Road area.
Yeah, Hargrove Road, a heavily traveled thoroughfare through this community. One house of worship took a direct hit on April 27th. That was the Central Church of Christ. And of course, in and around Central Church of Christ, a lot of people in this community saw their lives turned upside down in just a matter of seconds. The area was just simply devastated by this very fast-moving storm, and Hargrove Road hasn't really been the same since then. But good news, now 12 months later, Hargrove Road is a very different place. Construction crews now putting up a framework on new homes. Also, some landmark locations you're familiar with are still making some plans for a comeback, and we are starting to see some signs of recovery slowly appearing all in this area, and that is the good news, Terry.
Yeah, some very good news. Now, this past year has been a long journey for many residents. Residents like Sue Parker. She once had a fabric store on 15th Street. Now, she had closed the business before the tornado hit, but she was still storing all of her fabric behind the business on 15th Street.
And like so many people, Terry, she wanted to have something good come out of something that was definitely not so good. It's a great story, and our reporter Taylor Sanders has more.
The initial visit to 15th Street after the tornado was total shock. We stored fabrics that were left over in these two 18-wheeler truck beds that were located at the time of the tornado in the parking lot behind the building, the commercial building that we owned on 15th Street.
For clothing designer Sue Parker, her beloved fabric could have easily been tossed into the trash.
And I walked around and I looked at the debris, you know, the items that were everywhere. The fabrics came to, jumped out at me. And then it hit me, this tornado created a piece of art. This fabric can be used for something.
Along with volunteers, Parker contacted Black Belt Designs in the community of York. The company's focus is to repurpose used and worn out fabric.
That fabric was torn to pieces, just like Tuscaloosa was torn to pieces. But we're bringing it back together. With this fabric, we're letting them know that you can rebuild. You can come back from where you was.
And that's exactly what this project is all about. It's called Remnants of the Storm, and while it donates a percentage of its income to the Alabama Family Network Resource Center, its main goal is to remind people of the beauty left over from the rubble of April 27th.
It's just one of those ways that we can show other people that we're not forgetting and that we are not ever going to forget what happened.
Here we take something that was almost destroyed, i.e. the city of Tuscaloosa, and here it is, at least in this project, it has bloomed and has come to life, and it is a symbol of what I see the city doing.
Having that item is therapeutic. It helps us to reflect. It helps us to tell the story. I think sharing the story with others is very important in helping us to heal and to know that, we're going forward now.
Reporting from 15th Street in Tuscaloosa, Taylor Sanders, WVUA News.
Now, if you'd like to purchase one of the garments the ladies from Remnants of the Storm will be selling, scarves, jackets, other clothing items, every day this week at Capstone Village in Tuscaloosa from 4 to 6 p.m. Great to see people bringing some good out of such a rough time for so many people in Tuscaloosa and across Alabama.
That's right. That's a great story. And of course, if you were personally affected by the storm, as so many people in this community were, you're realizing by now that the road to recovery is certainly not going to be quick. And one person who's talked a lot about the long road to recovery, Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox. He was spreading that message again today at Tuscaloosa's Rotary Club. At their regular meeting today, WVUA News was there. He talked about newly released statistics on business recovery in our area. For instance, the majority of businesses destroyed by the tornado have reopened. Maddox also saying that he was opening the floor for questions today, and he told us it's very important for him to get input, still to this day, from the community.
And one of the things that we've tried very hard to do is put ourselves out there, whether it's for opinion, whether it's for input, or whether it's for criticism, giving people an opportunity to have input into the recovery of Tuscaloosa.
And we will hear much more from Mayor Maddox on Thursday. He will join us live right here on WVUA News as part of our special coverage.
And that'll be a great time to get some information about this recovery process in Tuscaloosa. Also, a programming note to share with you. Be sure to join us every night this week for a special presentation dedicated to everyone touched by the April 27th storms. Our special hour-long documentary, Faces of the Storm, is airing every night this week. You can see it at 9 p.m. tonight through Thursday. Then on Friday, April 27th, Faces of the Storm will air immediately following WVUA News at 6. The special presentation is a look at the people impacted by the storm and their stories of loss, survival, and hope. Faces of the Storm is brought to you commercial-free with special thanks to DCH and Nucor.